Parents, are you reading with your child and you just get so frustrated that they keep guessing words instead of actually trying to sound them out? Stick with me. I'm going to talk all about that today in video number 8 of my series, How to Help Your Struggling Reader at Home. Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to be your child's most influential teacher. Today we're talking about what to do when your child is guessing words when they're reading. Sometimes even guessing a word that doesn't even look anything like the word that's on the page. Before we get started, make sure you click like and subscribe so you can be notified each time I upload a new video for your child's learning. And don't forget, down in the description, I will give you a link to my free guide, 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader. That will include things that you can do today to notice an immediate improvement, and certainly an improvement after doing them consistently for about a month. Now, there may be reasons for your child guessing words. I've seen some children that just don't even realize that they are guessing the word and inserting something entirely different. Some children are lazy. They don't even want to try to attempt to sound out the word. And sometimes they're just reading a harder book. And they don't have the tools to sound out the words. So think about that with your child in mind. Is there a reason why your child might be guessing the words? Maybe they don't see the difference. Maybe they just don't even want to try. What can you do at home, though, when your child is guessing words? First of all, be certain that the book that you are giving them to read is not too difficult for them. If you need ideas on that, I'll include a link below to another video on how to find just right or good fit books for your child. But other than that, one of the first tools that I use is something to write with, like a pencil and a stack of Post-it notes, because I can stick a Post-it note in the book. I can write down what is the word that the child read versus what is the word that was actually in the book. And I write the word they said on top and the word that was in the book on the bottom, and I draw a line in between it so it looks kind of like a fraction. And we talk about some of the letter differences and sound out the word. I might even draw scooping lines underneath the syllables of the word so that they can see how maybe the words are similar. They might have started out the same way, but they might have a different ending sound, or maybe they even have a different middle sound in the word. And so we look at those. And sometimes when they're substituting a word, the word that they substituted might still make sense in the sentence, and that may be why they're not noticing that. But I first draw attention to that so they can kind of see the differences. It's on a Post-it note, so when they go back and they reread the page or they reread the book, it's a reminder to them to notice those differences. When I was a second grade teacher in the public schools, we conducted these reading tests with children called running records. And what that entailed was giving the child a book they'd never read before, so they couldn't have memorized it. And the teacher sat on the opposite side with all the words that were in the book on a sheet of paper. The child could not see this. The child was looking at the book and was reading along. And as the child read in the story, the teacher would use her paper, her record sheet, to mark down if the child omitted a word, skipped a word, or if they substituted a word for something else, or if they read the word incorrectly, whatever the mistake may be. What I have done on my own time in tutoring children in a one-on-one situation is I have taught the parents how to conduct an unofficial running record of their own. So for instance, if their child is reading to them, as they read through the page, if the parent will write down what are the mistakes the child is making. The child's not even have to see this record, by the way. They can just grab a piece of notebook paper and write down, what words did they skip? What words did they substitute? And what did they substitute them for? And if you just keep some little notes that you've jotted down, you are going to see a trend in the type of mistakes that your child is making. And once you know what they are doing incorrectly and what's making them do that incorrectly, it's going to be easier to tackle the problem and solve it. Another thing you can try is teaching your child to see the word in chunks. Maybe you write the same word on another piece of paper or a Post-it note, and you might scoop out the letter chunks. You might circle the letter chunks. You might underline the letter chunks or even highlight the letter chunks. Now, what do I mean by letter chunks? Well, that can be things like if you have two vowels together, like a vowel team, like OW. It might be things like syllables, like ING or ED. If your child can identify those letter chunks and they already know what sounds they make, it can be easier to fit things together. And also teach your child that some words have smaller words stuck inside of them. And you can also use any of those methods likewise. Now, if you've been following this series, this is video number 8, and there are more to come. But if these have helped you, leave a comment below. Or if you have tried some of these on your own already with success, I would love to hear from you. So be sure to leave a comment below. Also, you can leave questions for me if you are wondering on how to fix a particular reading behavior that your child has been exhibiting. Don't forget to find the Parent Teacher Bridge on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, you are your child's most influential teacher.